now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy is D-Mac, Darren McCarty, in the most famous chair in the world. Of course, he's Uncle T, T-Foss, Terry Foster here in the building as well. T-Foss.
Good morning.
The wife's birthday dinner in tow. Everything went according to plan, right?
According to plan. I let her have all the ribs. I didn't have any.
Okay, so there you go. We have Sam Flannel, we have Spencer Raxter, another guy that will eat all the ribs, all the steak, whatever. But that's big facts, bro.
Yes.
That's what it is. No, but happy to have everybody here with us. It is the first day of fall, and look, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We have a great Amon-Ra St.Brown video that I can't wait to show everybody, because low-key, I love that stuff. I love that stuff, and we're going to show it to you in just a couple of minutes. Malcolm Rodriguez, some news with him from last weekend's game. There's a lot going on. Big Pistons trade as well. So we're gonna get into all this. There's a lot to get to today, but guys, before we jump in, I like to just survey the room and take the temperature, stuff that we're dealing with in our daily lives. First day of fall today.
Yeah.
Yesterday it's 87. Today it's 57. Like, that's the way it works. We're used to that. But looking around my neighborhood this morning when I was leaving, the people had the tech vests on. They're out walking. They're walking the dogs. Everybody seems happy and stuff like that. The pumpkin spice is flowing over at Birmingham Roast. You know what fall is, though, guys? Here's what fall is. Fall is NFL preseason football. You think you want it. You can't wait for it. Then it gets here. You turn it on for 3 minutes, and you're like, oh, yeah, this sucks. And then you move on. I'm sorry, man. I don't get hyped for fall the way everybody else does.
Well, I get hyped for temperature, right? Where it goes down and it can be in the 60s like it's going to be for the next week or so. But I like it above 50. So 50 is like sort of the mark, because then that's sort of like suspect. You got to go outside and look and see whether you can play golf or not, like that. So right now I think people are enjoying it, because some of the heat during the wintertime and stuff like you just mentioned, or the summertime, you just mentioned it, that they can get out there and get that. I like the long sleeve. I like putting the sweater on and stuff like this. But you have more of a point. I can see where you're going to there, is that it'll get old soon, because then what comes after it? The snow.
And that's the overriding thing, T-Foss. We know what's on the horizon.
Yeah, fall doesn't bother me. It's what's following that bugs me. But I actually like having the change of clothes. I'm wearing jeans today for the first time in 3 months. Got my little brown hat on. No more straw hats. And then I like wearing the little beanies to keep my head warm and everything. So
yeah, I'm not feeling it at all, because I know what's. And look, in a vacuum.
Don't think about what's coming up next.
But how can you not?
You live in the moment. That's what you do.
How can you not, though, T-Foss? And we know the pain that's out there.
Moment.
Big hello to everybody watching on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Get involved on social media. Make sure you check out the new WoodwardSports.com website while you're at it as well. Shows right there for you. Clips right there for you. Everything you need to do are all right there on WoodwardSports.com. And in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Detroit Dabber, what up, though? What up? Good to have you. Good to have you back here. Erwin R. Fletcher says, you know what I do get hyped for? The cranberry. People like the cranberry, D-Mac.
Dead. It's tasty. I mean, to each their own. I mean, like what you like.
Paul Thomas says summer's great in Michigan. It's the other 11 months of the year that suck. Yeah, exactly. AC says guys like Spencer will still wear shorts in the winter. What's the shorts threshold, Spencer? You're the barometer for this.
Yeah, I mean, probably around 40 degrees. I love sweatpants. I'm a big sweatpants guy, so I'm definitely throwing sweatpants on.
The late Killer Kowalski, he wore shorts year round.
See, that's aggressive.
That is aggressive. He had big, thick legs and everything, so I think he can get away with it, but I can't do that.
Joey Two Times says you'd think Neal would love colder weather with all those furnaces he has, and that's part of it, too.
That's a good point.
2 furnaces are cracking now, man.
Two furnaces cost you money, though.
Right. Steve Brown, let's add fall to Neal's hate list along with candy corn. And ironically enough, Steve, isn't that weird? how they're both at the same time of the year.
How did the candy corn thing start?
I tried it one time and it was awful.
And
Any
then you let the world
other
know about
deep
it.
dive questions, T-Foss?
You know, sometimes you try something and keep it to yourself. So did you have to blab this out to the world?
Yeah, because it was that bad. So that's why. I don't want to go down the candy corn
It does
road.
taste
I
like
don't.
wax.
Except for the chocolate ones, I heard.
Yeah, well, I'll never know.
They have chocolate ones?
Yeah, Mike Gentry, Big Mike Gentry tried to give Neal
Tried to trick me.
Tried to gift Neal some the other day, and he didn't have none of it.
He
No.
didn't even open the package.
Didn't even knew what was going on.
Because I'm smarter than that, T-Foss. And everyone thinks they're new when they do it. Everybody thinks they're new. You know what's funny? I was down in Florida last week doing work, and the people in the studio, I walk into my studio, and there's a bag of it sitting right on the desk. Like they think they're funny down there, too.
It is funny. That is funny.
No,
you
and
got to admit that's funny.
No, you know what's funny?
That's what I said.
You know what's funny is instantly how I put the video of me throwing it in the trash in slow motion, too.
That's funny, too.
Yeah, that's what I think
Just
is funny.
embrace it.
No.
This is your new shtick.
Dom Rivera, 88. No way. Fall is the best time of the year. Sweatshirt weather is where it's at. No, I still think that deep down. And Sam Flannel, you wear flannel every single day of the year. You still got another 200-plus days to go of wearing flannel. But do you vibe with me at all on that? That fall is kind of like NFL preseason football. It's cool for about 4 minutes.
I actually disagree. On one hand, I am kind of sad that summer is over. I'm gonna miss it. I loved it. Staying light later. But on the other hand, I have so many great flannels and like jeans and stuff that I can finally bring out.
Self-hype train.
I'm just saying, like, 75% of my wardrobe is gone in the summer, and now I can have it all back. And I'm honestly just okay with it. I'm loving this fall weather. I'm not even going to lie. And I still got shorts on, even though it's like 53 degrees.
D-Mac.
Love the fall.
I was told Sam has, quote, a lot of great flannels. By Sam, I was told
Well,
that.
we're going to find out, and I didn't remember what you just said. Right? What are you, 136 days
Yes.
straight today? He's still got over 200 and some days, so I hope he's got a plethora of flannels in that collection. Show us his eclectic taste. Now, they're getting thicker. I've seen this one before, but you can see he's probably going to get into the jacket,
Right.
or into the vest or whatever like this. Interesting. It's a time, you know what it is? This is a time of the year for the legend killer to shine in the fashion department.
That is true.
It's the spotlight is directly on him.
Fashionista legend killer.
The spotlight is directly on him. I will say this. The one thing, and Jake Wagner says, I was told, I love that one. I was told fall started weeks ago when Count Chocula hit the shelves. Neal's who told me.
Yeah.
That is true. It's not that fall's here when Count Chocula and Blueberry and Frankenberry are on the shelves. It's that it's very close.
Count
That's
Chocula is so good.
smash.
Yeah.
In my different days,
Oh, yeah.
I would do some work on some Count Chocula. And low-key Frankenberry was really good, too. I will do, Terry, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm honest with you guys. I've always said this. The one thing I do like about fall, and it's the only time that I could do this, is I will dabble in the pumpkin ale and the red ales. I will have a beer here and there, and it will be a pumpkin spice beer or a pumpkin ale, or it will be a red ale. I will do that.
Sounds like a win-win to me. And I like oatmeal in the fall.
Really?
Oatmeal is, yeah.
Not
I know
cream
you
of
don't
wheat,
like
though.
cream of wheat.
Right.
You hate oatmeal too?
No, apples and cinnamon, maple brown sugar,
They got a
sugar.
great
Brown
peach
sugar.
cobbler one at the Birmingham
peach cobbler,
Roast for,
Birmingham roll. Yeah.
Right.
I had it the
You,
other
you know
day.
what I don't like? Chalky ass cream of wheat. I don't like that.
What about
It's
the
not
dinosaur
chalky,
eggs?
man.
Oh, those were big hits back in the day with the kids, man.
yeah.
Watch those things grow.
Chalky ass cream of
Do
wheat.
you get cream of wheat or you get Bob's cream of wheat?
I don't
real
get
cre-
any of the cream of
Real
wheat.
cream of wheat with the little bowl.
You
Following
almost
the
have
guy
it.
in
You
the
see, that's
commercial,
great
that's
journalism
good.
right there.
Yeah.
That
See
is great
And
journalism.
it's not chalky.
Yeah, I know your journalism tricks there, T-Foss. You're trying to trick me like an athlete back in the
I'm
day.
not.
It's not working, man.
It's good.
It's-
You know what? If you got the generic kind, that's probably what you did. And that's nasty.
Pistons fan 11, go get Pistons over 28.5 wins while you can, folks. And we're going to discuss that for sure. There is a lot of stuff going on. If you don't know, the Pistons did make a trade. They traded to Utah Saban Lee and Kelly Olynyk for Bojan Bogdanovic. So Bogdanovic has an expiring contract on the books. His deal, I think it's $19-ish million, will expire after this year. He's 33 years old, can really fill it up from behind the three-point line. That was a Woj bomb, I guess, although I think Shams Charania had it first. Those two, man, they go to battle.
Yeah, they go to battle for sure.
I bet they hate each other, too.
Probably.
You know what? I'm going to throw shade on that. They actually don't go to battle. Teams feed them the information.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that.
They don't have to work for it.
Yeah, it's handed to them. I understand that, and I get that. But I bet you, because you know, and D-Mac can just sit back and laugh at this one, T-Foss, but you know sports writers are some of the most thin-skinned, soft people out there, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I know that bothers the hell out of them when Shams gets a story or Woj gets it. You know that they hate each other, right?
They hate that. It used to be the beat writers got all the scoops, but now what happens are teams, they come out with press releases. They know they're going to do something, and then there's someone in the office. His job is to leak it either to the Athletic or ESPN, so they don't have to work for it.
Right, it is. It's just handed, and you know why the teams do that, right? Because they have the reach,
Right,
even bigger reach than the teams do. Those writers do.
They do, but in today's world, it doesn't matter who breaks the story. It's going to make national headlines. I mean, you could get anybody if they report it. It's like that. Bam, it's out there. So right. I don't get it. And I don't like it either.
Fred Dallas says, as a thick boy, I certify fall as the best season. And D-Mac, that does play a part, right? Your build, your constitution, that people that like fall.
Love fall.
Love fall.
Love fall. We'll die on that hill for fall. You know, and a lot of it has to do with the attire. A lot of it has to do with what kind of summer you had. And we live in Michigan where we have, you know, all 4 seasons can have them in a day. But we have some humid days in the summer. So when it cools down before we know what's coming, that snowstorm, I think we enjoy it a little bit more. Because with spring, you know, the spring and the fall, a little bit of the same, but you know you're going to glory, not to darkness, right?
Our guy Stick just popped in the studio a couple minutes ago. He had a tweet this morning. He said it's officially hoodie season, the best time of the year. He also, and for those of you that missed it, and you may know some of Stick's ex-girlfriends, he's asking for any hoodies that he loaned out to any ex-girlfriends. He's asking for those back because it is hoodie season.
Which, by the way, I'll give you a Stick fact. It's hoodie season, but don't wear a hoodie to the bar. Stick fact right there. Big fact, no lie. Anyways,
yeah.
Well, why don't you go to the bar and not fight? You ever
try that?
It's not my decision. It's not my decision.
Why put
to defend
yourself
honor.
in a position? Right, I agree, but don't wear a hoodie to the bar just in case. You can't control anybody
you know
else's
what?
actions.
You know how many times I've been to the bar and have worn hoodies and have not gotten into fights?
Yeah,
probably
but
thousands.
T-Foss. That's because you know the way out the back, and you don't put yourself in those situations, bro.
No. You go to the bar, watch a ball game, talk to your friends, laugh, and anybody else in the bar you leave alone. You don't look at them, you don't talk to them, you just mind your own business.
Sometimes it's not that easy.
What do you mean it's not that easy? No, you guys are looking for stuff.
No.
Not
Sometimes
even
there's
true.
dudes doing dumb stuff.
Don't wear a
Sometimes
hoodie
there's
to the
people
bar.
disrespecting females, and we got to be the enforcers of the world sometimes.
Don't wear a hoodie to the bar. That's all it is. Take it for what it is.
Stick, what's a percentage of time you go to the bar versus how often you get in a fight when you go to the bar?
At this stage in my life, it's like 0%.
0%.
Okay.
Early
you know
20s,
why?
early 20s, 50-50.
50-50.
Because you're
so it was like
mature
a
now.
It was like a Ben Wallace free throw. I was
But Stick will
50-50.
say you weren't looking for it, but you were sniffing to see where the trouble was.
You were aware of where it was.
And preface this, like, I was a club host, so I was in a club 6 nights a week, right?
Yeah.
And my job there not only was to entertain people, but to make the girls feel safe so they could come back. And if I saw a guy disrespect a girl, I was the first one to check him.
Okay, but that was your job.
No, it wasn't. That's something I did above and beyond because that's what I should do as a man.
Wow.
Well, anyway,
Welcome to fall.
Yeah, welcome to fall. That turned quickly.
Give me back my hoodies, women!
Yeah, and if you're an ex-girlfriend of Stick and you're watching right now, We're not asking questions. He just wants the hoodies back. No questions asked.
Yeah, there's like a number 99 St. Mary's football hoodie. My fraternity hoodie from UOD is out there somewhere. The original Woodward sports hoodie, I believe, is at some thought in Detroit. I need it back.
Do these women have to have sex with you one last time? Or can they just give you the hoodie and keep
Can I
keep
decide? That's a case-by-case scenario.
That's how we break that down case.
No, you Mr. Respect women. Let them decide.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, my gosh. Rack says it's fall fight season at Woodward Sports Network. Jack Harrington says, quote, Stick is a pimp. So we're moving on, Stick. Appreciate your contributions. It is hoodie season.
Appreciate all you guys.
There it is. Hey, let me get this back on the rails here. Let me tell you, let's talk about something serious here. Sports Marketing Agency, they help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This is the F Word. It's a series on fentanyl and the other addictions that, let's be real, they're plaguing our communities as we speak. If you're struggling, go to thesportsma.com. If you know someone else that's struggling, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency, they are here to help.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it. You've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play, as well as private lane reservation for $120 for 10 to 12 people. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. You pop in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. If you know what you want or you want to make a decision, they have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Again, that is foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here as well. The people in the chat thread, our woodwardsports.com chat thread, seems like they want to get into this Pistons stuff, so let's do it, man. We be like that here. We'll do that kind of stuff. What you guys are talking about, let's talk about it, man. But as we said, we talked about it during the Open. Pistons make a trade that came across the news wires this morning. They obtained Bojan Bogdanovic from the Utah Jazz for Saben Lee, Kelly Olynyk as well. On the surface, hey, Bogdanovic is 33. I know a lot of people are excited about like floor spacing and shooting, and the guy's a stone cold shooter, man. Make no mistake about it. He is. He's put up 50 burgers in the past and stuff like that. 40% three-point shooter certainly is very good. I don't understand Utah's motivation for doing the deal, but I'm not paid to understand Utah's motivation for doing the deal. They're adding. Olynyk has a partial guarantee next year. So, like, financially, it's pretty much a wash. If anything, you're accelerating getting Olynyk off the books to this year. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Well, it's more so if you're looking from Utah's, they're dumping guys. You know, they got rid of
Gobert. Oh, yeah, they're tearing it down to the studs.
So I'm asking you, draft capital, salary cap guy, Olynyk for the next few years for them at being the guy he is with the injury. That's what they want, right? He's going to be good enough to probably put some fans in the stands or whatever like that. But this shows me that they're doing what you want every other team to do. Is that if you're going to tank. Then and they're not making any bones about it. Yeah. And I think that here's the credit to Troy Weaver and stuff like this.
This is funny. Neal doesn't know what Utah is doing. This looks like Neal Ruhl is running the Utah Jazz.
No, I don't understand why they would take a liability for next year. But then again, I didn't know the exact money of the partial guarantee for Olnick next year. So it makes a little more sense in that because it's not a full year of salary. So I see what they're doing. And we're here to talk about from the Pistons' perspective, but Utah's biggest problem is going to be how the hell do you get rid of Mike Conley and $47 million in liability for a 35-year-old point guard? They're going to have to bribe somebody to take him.
They're trying as hard as they can to get Victor Wembanyama. They're going.
They're going all in. Yeah, heavyweights. The heavyweights' favorite potential prospect in the NBA. But no, it's one of those things for me where there is literally zero downside to this. In that, if Bogdanović comes out and plays well, perfect. That helps. And I see a lot of discussion here. Was it? Shad 216 says Detroit's a 5th seed now. Philly and Atlanta fell off. Shad, easy guy. And this is what I don't want to see, guys. There are going to be some tones to next year's Pistons season that are similar to last year's, where that win total in Vegas is about right.
Yes.
Well, can we pump? That's what I was going to say. Let's pump the brakes on that. And if to what you mentioned before the break, if you want to hammer the over right now because of this move before it moves over in 28.5 wins, is that what it was, or 26?
Yeah, 28.5. Yeah,
28.5. That's okay. That's more of the speed that we're going here. We're not. This doesn't take us over the edge. But what it does is that I asked you, and I ask anybody, does this make our younger guys better? Will this help Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey's development moving forward? And from what Pistons talk in the back and everybody says, yes, it will. This guy's a player. He's healthy. You're paying he's making $19 a year, so you're paying like $5 more million for a healthy guy. That can prove that he can hit it on the outside. Spence, I know this name. It came to mind when it came across the ticker because you've been talking about him when we talk Pistons in the summertime about guys that you'd like to see in this roster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another guy. It gives you the flexibility to run a smaller lineup with Saddiq Bey at the 4. You can push him down a little bit. Getting rid of Kelly Olynyk means more minutes for Jalen Darren this year, which I like to see a lot because they kind of had a logjam on that 4-5 spot. That frees up, with Marvin Bagley playing well last year. Now he'll get more minutes as well. And I like it, like you said, Neal, he's a knockdown three-point shooter. To your point, D-Mac, it will help with the development of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey because that's another guy on the outside that can kick the ball out too, not just Saddiq Bey. So they'll have another guy out there they can kick out for an open 3. I like it a lot, and I'm not ready to say 5th seed because Atlanta got a lot better. Like Atlanta's going to be a lot better than they were last year. So
if he does fall off because of age, okay, he's out of here in April. You know what I'm saying? April or May, whatever the season comes to an end. But at the same time, as Spence said, he becomes a flippable trade piece if the season, if you are a 28 to 32-ish win team, you have something that you can move now that a veteran team will covet. Bogdanović, he reeks of a missing piece guy for a contender. You know what I'm saying?
No, he absolutely is.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to the Stan Van Gundy era. When the big era here with the Pistons, Stan Van Gundy always talked about needing shooters. He loved shooters. And my question with him, how come we always bring in guys who can't shoot? So this is the guy that Stan Van Gundy was searching for and could never find. But he doesn't have to get old in 1 year. I mean, all he's got to do is shoot. He doesn't have to handle the ball. He doesn't have to, the Pistons don't even have to set screens for him. They have Kate penetrate or Jaden Ivey penetrate, and they got another piece to look at.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point. It's sort of the win-win because if he's going to help you on your floor with your younger guys, but then maybe this is the start of maybe Troy Weaver's sort of rental, sort of tryout period to see if, as the team develops. But if the team's not developed and the younger guys haven't developed to the point, then you still have an asset to get rid of to make your team better. So, I mean, I don't see the downside. And I think that's what we were talking about, Neal, is like, what happened? Because we're all looking at this going that this is the Pistons win this trade by a landslide. And you're always looking for the shoe to fall on the other foot, but right now it doesn't seem to. So if he's healthy, comes in here and does what he does consistently, it's going to help this team be better. How much better? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and here's Terry, and I figured you probably hated the deal, right? Because it accelerated cap space and you hate money and you can't stand salary cap space. But I'll just say it, and then I'll hide behind the desk after I say it so you don't throw anything at me. In 23-24, after this upcoming season,
right,
the Pistons will have effectively $65 to $70-ish million in cap space. And look, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're pre-programmed to say. Detroit's not a destination. You're not going to be a factor in free agent signings and things like that. But you can have the discussion. You can have the discussion.
So first of all, I'm a professional. I'm not going to throw anything at you.
Got you.
And I understand cap space in the NBA is very important. Bravo. But it's however, it is not a free agent destination. Even with Cade Cunningham, nobody wants to come here. So we'll see.
Yeah, but we will see, and
we gonna see.
We gonna see, as Drake would say. It's one of those things for me, D-Mac, where he is given full ability to stay massively nimble financially, and he just, the show goes on with Troy Weaver. Like, here's what I like about it. Now, I was texting with a couple of my the Piston elite buddies earlier this morning when the trade went down. There is a clear plan with Steve Yzerman, with Troy Weaver. That's the thing that excites me. And you don't have to be a basketball savant to see what they're doing here. You know what they're doing. There's a plan. More importantly, there's a desire. And third, there's a goal. And that goal is to do something big. As I always talk about, the second they won the lottery and got Cade Cunningham, in the back of your mind, you don't talk about it or anything like, but the clock starts ticking. The clock's, and you got to move.
How can it not? Because you have that piece, if you believe.
Right.
And then you see him play and you go out. And this, like, Troy Weaver and Steve Yzerman are operating, similarly, right? And here's the one thing that with this trade is that Troy Weaver saw an opportunity to make his team better, and also, too, with the win-win, usually you have to give something to gain something. This is what great GMs do. It's sort of like Steve Yzerman when he makes the trade and then gives you a couple dollars and takes back draft picks, and boom, next thing you know, you've traded 2 third-rounders that you've acquired for your starting goaltending crew, and Ville Husso and Nedeljkovic. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are what, if I'm looking in the chat and it's saying Troy Weaver's a top 5 GM and Steve Yzerman's hailed. Well, this is top 5 GM moves, right? These are what they do, not just the Melba toast, the right on board. Well, the GM's got to do this or sign this and draft this and decide on this player. No, goes out there and sees the opportunity by other teams, right? Utah, the perfect storm. You weren't going to get this before, and you probably won't get this after, but you were there to utilize, and you had something to offer. That's the thing, Neal.
Right.
You were in the conversation because you wanted to be. That's where Steve Yzerman and Troy Weaver are different. If they want to be in a conversation throughout the league, whether it's the NHL or the NBA, they're in it.
Yeah.
And the other key thing here is, what does Jaden Ivey and what does Cade Cunningham need?
Shooters.
Yeah.
Shooters
yes, they need shooters, but they need shooters when they get in the lane, get in trouble, can't finish, then they need to find somebody on the secondary market, and that's what they got here.
Right, absolutely. And it's hedged. This is what I always talk about, D-Mac. Like, when I give you the Saturday night get right,
yes,
and the team goes up 17 points in the second quarter, and I text you guys, I say, hey, if I were doing this, we're hedging the initial investment right now, so there's only positive outcomes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
That's where you have to look at it. And that's the thing when you're comparing it, is what Steve Yzerman that you brought to my attention is what he does in moving money around, getting draft. Because you know what? You picked up a 3rd rounder, or 2nd rounder, or 4th rounder. You don't think it really means something? Oh, it means a lot of things because it allows you, to play more in your recipe of what you're trying to build in your team.
Now, D-Mac, give us the scoop. Did Steve Yzerman hire Troy Weaver?
He hired every other GM in this town, right?
No, that was that's the one thing you got to give. We crapped on Tom Gores and whatever else, but you know what? Whoever made that decision in there, Troy Weaver was the guy. No, Scott Harris, yes. Troy Weaver, no.
Right, absolutely.
But he would have hired him. That's what I'm saying. But he would have. Great question, Terry, because it seems like he would have hired him.
It does. It seems like all the GM stuff, we don't know about the Tiger GM yet, or / president. We don't know about him yet, but it seems like everybody else is cut from the same cloth.
Right, absolutely. I know where the haircuts are all cut from the same cloth too, D-Mac.
What's that?
I know where all the haircuts are cut from the same cloth too.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. We've been telling you about it all the time. 168 across the country. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. It's your last month to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, live scores. Those are cool. Those are a necessity. But how about this? The best price on every game for multiple sports books. You can customize a list to sites that you have accounts with. Therefore, when it's Saturday and it's 11:55 and the game kicks off at noon and you're trying to get the best price in the pressure cooker, it's all right there in front of you with oddstrader.com. Duh. Seems pretty simple to me. Go to oddstrader.com right now and find your best bet. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Just wrapping up this Pistons discussion. They snuck a trade in this morning. They got Bojan Bogdanovic from Utah. They give up Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee as well. And just as an update, the Pistons still have one more move they have to make. They have to get down to the 15-player limit before the season gets rolling. So somebody else got to go.
Kemba Walker's going somewhere.
See, but what's the problem? You know, like I don't understand that. And I've seen media talking about that, and I haven't asked about that. Maybe I should, but maybe they're haggling for money. Yeah. I don't know. I think the market for Kemba Walker, much to Kemba Walker's surprise, was pretty dry.
Pretty bare.
You know, and it wasn't.
There's that too.
Yeah, you know, and it wasn't one of those things where you were going to trade him for an asset. It's one of those things where the market for Kemba Walker dictates the amount of the buyout that you're going to pay. The more people that are interested, the little bit less cheddar you have to spend to buy them out. But whatever, I mean, at this point, if it's $1 million, if it's $2 million, whatever, you got the cap space to do it. I talked about next year's cap space, and you'll like this. Next year, I believe, the final year of the Dwayne Dedmon dead money era.
Thank God.
$2.2 million to Dedmon next year.
We still got DeAndre Jordan on the books?
No, he's off.
No? Oh, man. Troy Weaver. Look at that guy.
No one talks about that stuff.
Yeah.
No one talks about.
You do.
Yeah. No one talks about. No one talks. I
do dreams about it at night.
Oh yeah. I have it on a mirror above my bed, T-Boss. You know, everybody's cap table and where it's at. No other sports entities in this town talk about that. Why, Terry? They don't understand it or what?
It's boring.
Is it boring?
Yeah. Not to you. You love it.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Is the financial side of sports boring? For real. I'm asking you guys, for real. Do I bore you to death when I stand up here? Because I think D-Mac gets excited when I talk about it.
Well, just because it's new, right? It's a new, and you have to take it all in to understand the big picture from the 30,000-foot view. These are things that we weren't accepting. Growing up as a fan, right? Your fandom, you didn't have to choose that. You didn't have to worry about what the money was. And even though it was still there, now more salary caps implemented in different leagues, but you just worried about players and get this guy and get this guy, cheer for this guy. And you didn't understand. If you want to understand more, it depends how deep you want to go in a sport and understand why your team might be pigeonholed or why they can't go get that player. And why good teams are better than others when they set it up, and maybe why you can see the future.
You can see the plan.
Maybe you could see, oh my gosh, we're swimming out of the darkness. We could see the light, and it's like, oh wow, we're getting to the surface, right?
People who
watch
that Woodward
feeling?
Sports,
you can see the light, you're swimming.
No, people who watch Woodward Sports may not think it's boring because, Neal, you're so cute when you talk about it. You bat your little eyes, and you look up into the heaven, and you get all angelic and everything. I mean, this is your thing. This is like sex to you, man. So,
no, it's deeper, right? Because then it goes to show why certain GMs, why you can say a Troy Weaver is a top 5 GM and have because of the books.
Well, and I just think I like it because you can kind of predict what's going to happen next based off of it.
Right. It allows you to...
And it makes sense when it happens.
Knowledge is power. It gives you more knowledge to what the situation is and what they're up against. I mean, you and Spencer dropping names of guys I never even heard of, and you're paying them. Right? And you're still paying them. So, I mean, there's stuff to it, right?
Well, that's like... And I think it's because... And the people that say, yes, it's boring, are the same people that say, well, the salary cap doesn't apply to the Rams. Yes, it does. In 2026, it applies like a effing hammer to them.
It didn't last year.
And it won't this year. And
FM picks.
Yeah, right. But in 2026, it's a hammer dropping on them.
They're paying for that.
They're paying for. But you know what? They got
a ring.
You can deal with it. If you're a fan, would we take that right now? Hell yeah, we would take that.
Yeah.
Right. Hell yeah, we would. I would take the worst record in the league for the next 15 years.
Yes.
To cash one in.
If the Lions won a Super Bowl, they could go 0-16
for 4 years in a row.
For 4 years in a row, yes.
And no one would care.
Hey, Terry, they say that now.
No,
until it actually happens.
They say that now until you're into the second season 0-8 after losing and going,
come out
hey, what you done
and...
for me lately?
No, Spence wouldn't care. He'd just be shaking off the hangover.
Facts. I'd still be in the streets.
That's it. We're portraying Spence as a lush. Man, that's
absolutely.
Not true.
But I guess to wrap things up, the moral of the story is, guys, and I see people kind of ping-balling back and forth about the 28.5 win total. A lot of you are saying way over that. And yeah, don't get me wrong, like, they could go, 32, 33, 34. But what are we talking about? What are we arguing about in there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is just another step for, again, in 2 years, you're a primetime player in free agency. You're on the graphic, T-Foss. When they talk about all the biggest NBA free agents, who has the ability to pull it off? The Pistons do. They do.
They might be on the graphic, but can they pull somebody in?
We're drafting Bronny, signing LeBron.
You can't draft Bronny because he has to play with LeBron. He's not coming here.
Yeah.
No, that's the whole thing is you draft Bronny so LeBron comes here to play with him. And the NBA is changing their age of eligibility to 18.
They are. That's right.
Yeah.
Looted Corpse says, if you don't like the financials, you probably don't balance your own checkbook. So, and there's an element of it to that.
I don't even have a checkbook.
Of course you don't.
I probably do.
No.
I mean, it's probably somewhere in my closet.
Is there such a thing as a checkbook anymore?
Yeah. I don't write
Everything
checks.
is electronic.
Yeah, everything's electronic.
I'll just Venmo you.
But it used to be, I mean, you had to get the calculator out and get the checkbook out and pen to paper. You don't do that anymore.
Right.
The bank just sends you the statement.
Justin Schwelzer says 40 wins. Neal, just say it. This is a huge swindling trade. I don't understand Utah's motivation to do this. Like, why would you send Bogdanović here when you could flip him at the trade deadline for an asset anyway? Because you're tearing it down.
Satan Lee's the future of their G League team.
Yeah, maybe you want a 40 a night guy for your G League team. Because Saban Lee, if there's ever a 4A guy in the NBA, it's Saban Lee.
Facts.
And great guy and everything like that, but wish him well, but all that. I did want to get into this. Amon-Ra St.Brown. And we saw it on Hard Knocks. And, D-Mac, I don't know that you were wired like this. I'm guessing you don't know all the forwards that were taken in front of you in the NHL draft. You don't keep a running list. Amon-Ra St.Brown, in the game against the DC Commanders last Sunday, DC Commanders had a receiver that went in front of Amon-Ra St.Brown in the NFL draft. Spin this for the people.
You know, the draft, it is what it is. I think, even the Commanders, they got a guy before me over there. I believe his name is De'Ami Brown. I don't know how many catches he had. You guys can probably tell me that, or how many yards he had, but I don't forget things like that. You know, I see him across the sideline from where I'm standing during the game, and I'm going to give every team hell.
Honestly, we're watching Miami a little bit?
Yeah, I didn't see him in the game much.
Like Dave said, you fell because of the size and the speed and some of these things.
That was Amon-Ra St.Brown.
Yeah, but that's a shot at the team. That's not a shot to the player.
No, and I understand that.
Yes, absolutely, shove it in every. No, see, for me it was different because I wanted to go to Detroit, but I was gonna. But my goal, my mentality was that I was gonna do what I did and help Steve Eisman bring a cup back, and Detroit was a team I wanted, so my mentality was different. I was gonna make everybody else pay, but not for not taking me just because you weren't Detroit. But that is the same mentality as I had. It reminds me of my 9th grade math teacher, Mr. Timek, telling me I'll be back in 2 weeks from going to play junior because you'll never make it, not good enough, whatever like this. And that's the Amon-Ra St.Brown is. He's been shoving it up. Listen, him and I have been shoving it up people's derrieres for a long time. It just goes to show you, gets back down there to the mentality of being raised by John Brown, the bodybuilder, and different mentality. But yeah, when you're he's got a lot to prove, and that's how he plays. He plays like he's proven everybody wrong. So
on our WoodwardSports.com chat, Jake Wagner says, Amon-Ra petty AF, and I'm here for it, LOL. And Terry, the look on that man's face, again, when I talked about Okuda, like the passion that he played with, the look on his face, Amon-Ra St.Brown, that was deeply personal. Like, that drives that man.
Some athletes need to be motivated by something. And I don't care what you say, and athletes will always deny this, but money makes you soft sometimes.
Yes.
So now you've got to be pissed off about something. So during the contact, or during the play of a game, you could get pissed off at the guy that you're going up against. That only lasts a few plays or one game or whatever. Amon-Ra St.Brown, when he is saying, I was disrespected, I showed I'm one of the better receivers in the draft, and you guys didn't see it, so that is my motivation to be pissed off for the rest of my career.
The look on his face, dude. That was stone cold.
About that action, boss.
There's no question, man. That guy. Well, I want to talk about this a little more. I want to get deeper into this after I tell you about Cintron. They are the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Camp DMAC now. Today. First day of fall. You feeling it? Get that Detroit Red Wings Cintron 6-pack sampler box at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Yes, all 3 of the delicious flavors are available. The classic, the sugar-free, and the cranberry. That is correct. CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Order it today. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings!
Get dope like me.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Neal Ruhl here for the Monroe Street Midway. Final weekend now of the Monroe Street Midway. It's going until September 25th. You still have time, however. You're big fall person? Put the tech vest on and roll on down to the Monroe Street Midway. Roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe environment for everybody ages 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. We'll see you at the Midway.
At the Midway.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rachter. I'm surprised by this in our WoodwardSports.com chat. And before we went to the break, we played that video clip of Amon-Ra St.Brown where it looked deeply, deeply personal for him. And I'm surprised, Terry, by some of the reaction from our people at our WoodwardSports.com chat. Chuck Brewer says, go after the teams for passing on you. Don't go after the players. AC says, I'm not sure what dragging that guy achieves. And T-Foss, my point of that is, that's what gets him going. And it's very, very clear. Some guys go up there and they BS about it, right? They say, oh, well, that fired me up. That got me charged up. St. Brown's eyes do not lie. That's what gets him going. So do whatever you got to do to be great, man.
Right, and why do you care? Even if he did go after the other wide receivers, so what?
That's my point, yeah.
You know, all fair and love and war. All you care about, would you rather have St. Brown looking at the other people's wide receiver pissed off and getting 8 or 9 catches a game for 150 yards, or would you rather have him just say, okay, whatever, I was drafted in this 4th or 5th round, who cares, and have him catch 3 balls for 39 yards and no touchdowns.
Here's the thing.
You want a guy who's motivated, who's pissed off.
I want a dog.
Remember you talk about tone? We talk about your tone all the time, right? You look at, and Terry can tell you this when he interviews a guy, whether a guy's being truthful, being honest, is standing on his conviction. When you see the tone of Amon-Ra St.Brown, that's how he's motivated. He's got to be motivated. Yeah, number one, it's the team, but I look at that player over there and I say, you know what? That's what gets me going. So if he calls him out and stuff like this, listen, I wouldn't name that player unless it was, you know, something like that. But that's the way he operates. And if you watch that interview and see how serious he is and his tone as we speak, Neal, his tone's a big topic on here because your tone is always wrong for the people. But that's what I mean. So that's what he believes, and you want to know why he goes out there and catches 8 balls and sets records with the touchdown for the past 8 games and stuff like that. It's because of that mental attitude right there.
He knows all the receivers in order.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Dude,
that is
Terry,
crazy.
If we were sitting down talking to him, you would bring somebody up, who went before you to Jackson? Oh, you know, like this. He's got a list of them.
Right. Who are all the second-round receivers? He'd just go bam, 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 bam.
Yep. But did it remind you of any, like, to me, that sort of, was there a mentality when any of the bad boys sort of like that? Like, just sort of like the way that it was?
I tell you, used to get pissed off every draft. Isaiah Lord Thomas. Whenever Jack McCloskey drafted a point guard, Isaiah was pissed. He could draft me as a point guard, and he'd be, and his whole thing, oh, they're trying to get my replacement. That used to motivate him.
That's what I love about that, man.
So do you not see, but do you see, can I ask there, we'll go off this, do you see a bit of a Zeke mentality in Amon-Ra St.Brown about wanting to be the best?
That's a great comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in their attitude, right? Where Zeke would call it, like, if that was Isaiah Thomas standing there, you could see that being him saying that about
if Isaiah was picked in the 2nd round, he'd know every point guard who was picked before him.
So there you
that
go.
would have been, but he was a high pick. So, but the other thing with the Pistons back then, no one thought they could win. You know, they weren't the Celtics, they weren't the Lakers.
That's why I love Isaiah
is coming
Thomas.
up.
But isn't it more the comparable as we see as not the little engine that could, but just these guys at this stature are just monsters in themselves. Like, these are the leaders, and the more that we're talking about, to see the competitiveness.
He doesn't care. That's what I love.
And that's what Isaiah didn't care.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas did not care. Didn't care who was around him. Didn't care who was in the way. Amon-Ra St.Brown does not care. He'll call people by names. Does not care. Throw him the ball.
We only care what size they are. They don't know how
and
big
therefore,
they are.
you should not care.
Right.
100%.
Yes, exactly.
Those are the guys that you need. Where isn't that what we say we want as fans? That's why I'm surprised he's getting questioned for his methods. Isn't that what we say we want from these guys? That's what I want. I want the Isaiah Thomases. I want the Amon-Ra St. Browns. They know everybody around them, and they don't care because I'm going to go out there and dominate. And there's nothing you, who was taken in the third round in front of me, there's nothing you can do about it. And then the eye contact with the camera. I'm telling you, man, that's organic, dude. You can't create that. You can't go to some motivational video and feel that. That has to be in you.
Right. And he's showing convictions. I mean, when he calls out a guy, this guy was drafted in the second round ahead of me instead of, this guy was drafted in the second round ahead of me, and, that really pissed me off.
It's the tone.
The tone, right. You go to tone. I always go to tone with athletes. It's not, a lot of times it's not what they say, it's the way they say it.
Mm-hmm.
That convinces you that they really mean it. Because athletes say stuff all the time they don't mean.
In our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, AC says, "Can we get an Ask Neal segment?" Sure, we can do that at 12:50. AC, let's do it. Let's do it that way. Nick Burke says St. Brown's got the killer mentality that the greats have. Do you notice that, D-Mac? You've been around a lot of greats.
What's that?
Does he that killer? And you said Stevie Y. He wasn't overt with it.
No,
but but it was
same
there.
The same mentality, except he's going to filter everything and give you what you. Steve Yzerman's going to give you what you want, but when he wants to give it to you, right? A lot of the rest of us, no, it's that inner desire and that inner fire. Some guys have that, they know that they're better and operate on it and don't worry about it, but other guys are motivated and desire, and it goes by the work ethic. I was very fortunate because it was easy because our best players, all our Hall of Famers, they worked the hardest. They set the tone, so you just had to, how many times have you after practice and you look and there goes Yzerman and Lidstrom into the gym and it's like, man, hurry up, why aren't you in there yet? Stuff like that. So it's a mentality, but guys display it. Tone's the perfect thing. Terry nailed it, and that's what I want out of you're allowed to do that, and that's so in the Yzerman sort of thing as the captain, he's got to be more politically correct,
right?
Sort of as if Jared Goff.
Well, his is more internal versus external,
right?
But it's the same.
But you'll see it in the room. You'll see it when it comes out. We used to call him E.F. Hutton because when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. So when he did talk, he best be listening.
You shut the hell up right then, and you took it in, right?
It's the truth. You might not like it. Because it might be about you.
And D-Mac,
it's about being better for the whole.
And forgive me if this sounds kind of Sam Flannel legend killer-ish here. But to do that and to get buy-in and to be, just flat out to be able to do that, you have to be a great player.
You have to execute.
You have to be a dude.
Stats behind it. That's what makes it go.
Because obviously I travel with teams. I'm in the locker room with teams. The resume guys are the ones where it hits different. It just does. No matter what team I've ever been on, been traveling with, good teams, bad teams, whatever. The one constant is the resume dudes are the ones that do the talking.
For the most part. Wouldn't you agree, Terry?
Yeah, if you don't have a resume, who's going to listen to you? What's the scrub talking about? I'm better than him. You don't even know what he's talking about.
Even
so I'm not listening to him.
Stick a microphone in front of a scrub or a recorder in front of a scrub. Right?
Well, unless I'm looking for a feature on pets or something like that, I may talk to them.
I didn't even check my resume when I got hired here. I was kind of upset because I got a good resume. Like everything I did at MSU.
Looks good on paper.
Yeah, I come in the big boy, I go to hand it to him, he's like, "No, you're." I was like, "Oh, all right."
You're already vetted.
Yeah. Jack Harrington, college football talk today, Neal. Yes, we are going to tap into that in the second hour. I have a critical. You know what? And this just kind of festered, and I just kind of thought about it. I have a critical question for Michigan State fans.
No.
Hey, did you hear the groan? Right? Like, I think last week did something to him. To the Michigan State Spartan fan, just about maybe reality.
Yeah, but I take that with a grain of salt because Spence is kind of a slappy.
Yeah, but I understand that. But like that genuine emotion right off the bat, that little groan is that he's not looking forward to doing it. He's got chores.
Yeah.
He feels like his team's got chores.
You're going to have to work in the second hour.
Oh, for sure.
You are. Because I got, I just need to check in with you. and run some things. And guys, look, I do this with you guys in the WoodwardSports.com chat. I do this with my associates here in T-Foss and D-Mac and Sam Flannel and Spence. I go to the source to get the information, and I have some questions for Spence about Michigan State football.
And they're going to have to work Saturday.
Yeah, right, and he's not going to like them.
I won't.
But they need to be asked because I need to know. I need to know how to allocate things on Saturday. And your response is going to go a long way. The difference with you and, like, say, Sam Flannel, and Sam Flannel keeps it real to some degree, but you keep it 100% real.
Yeah. I'm not holding back. I know what I deserve out of my team. I know what I want, and,
it'll be a little bit in the Wizard of Oz, though. Cute kid, but he's in the, he's like in fantasy land sometimes.
Chuck Brewer says it's only fair, but State deserves equal time. Nobody deserves any equal time in this. This isn't, this isn't a democracy here that we're running. You earn your time on this show, D-Mac.
You're the captain.
You earn your time on this
I'm
show.
just flopping the decks.
And my question's going to revolve around that about Michigan State. Speaking of deserved time, we're going to have that discussion, and it's going to be real, T-Foss.
I can't wait.
We're going to be getting into it. If you're in the market for home security, you know who's real?
Oh, Guardian Alarm all day long. Summertime, it's over. Fall is here. So no matter what you're doing, cleaning up the yard, getting ready before that snowfall, you want Guardian Alarm to give you peace of mind no matter what you're doing. If you want to be part of the Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network Guardian Alarm family, you can be. But you need to give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
136 straight days of flannel protection. Now, wait till you see what he's got coming out of the closet, because Guardian Alarm has kept him safe. Keep you safe, too. Give him a call, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out.
Get out of my house.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Happy Thirsty Thursday, Ribbit from Big Frog, and a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop by, tell them we sent you. They'll print you one up, boom, right on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today. Get your free t-shirt and visit them online, bigfrog.com/Novi.
Second hour of the show. Get in, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Check out the all-new Woodward Sports website, woodwardsports.com, and our Woodward Sports chat thread as well. You guys can jump in on that. And you know what it is when the commercial comes on. You know how everybody does it. Go Blue, says Crumbury. So there you go. Either if you know, you know. We'll just say it.
Wait, baby. Wow, wait.
If you know, you know. And we've been talking about the Detroit Lions, and guys, we're gonna spin it in the second hour. I'm gonna get to the college football. A lot of you've been asking about the Red Wings stuff since camp starts. There is some news out of Red Wings camp that we do have to discuss for a couple minutes, so we certainly will get to that as well, and we will hit the college football, as I said. But for the Detroit Lions, this Malcolm Rodriguez thing, hey, the heavyweights kind of latched onto him. He latched back onto the heavyweights. Mm-hmm. It was fun. It was cute. It was organic. He was out. We had him on the show a couple times. You've had him on your show. Great dude. Good guy to sit there and chop it up with. He was the highest graded rookie defender last week.
Yes, it was. Not only that.
And the number 1 linebacker in the league against the run. Think about that for a minute.
That makes my pants tighten up a little bit over here. I'm going to lie. That's 2 weeks in a row.
The bridges are being altered. They are.
Because of putting it on tape. And, you know, we'll use PFF to whatever else it is to fit your narrative to whatever you want, but it's consistency. And the fact of what did I sit here? Do we have a guy that can stop the run, a guy that can cover sideline to sideline, a guy that can be there in the linebacking course? So, you know what? 2 weeks in a row. Now, he's a rookie. There's going to be ebbs and flows. We know that throughout the season. But right now, Neal, he's putting tape in for everybody to see. It's only going to get harder as teams scheme against him and stuff like this. But just go back first week of the season when he absolutely does a WWD arm tackle, arm drag, whatever you want to say, on a Pro Bowler, and Jason Kelsey, who's a Super Bowl champion, one of the biggest dogs as a center in the league for Philadelphia, and he just manhandled him, and they talked about it and stuff like this. So he's getting the respect, but he's putting in the tape, and he's earning it. And it's to me, Malcolm Rodriguez is built the same as Amon-Ra St.Brown, but he ain't going to come out and tell you that all these linebackers...
It's a little different for him.
All these linebackers, he doesn't need to tell you all these linebackers and every other team messed up. He's just out there showing. You ask him and he'll go, yeah, it is what it is. I'm just happy I'm alive. I'm in the right price. Right, Terry?
Yeah, but we are getting an question answered. We wanted to know, did he make this team because the guys around him are so bad that he was a shining light in a room of darkness?
To where Terry suggested a 4-0-7 defense.
Right. Or can he play?
No, we got
now
Columbus.
Now we kind of find out the dude can play.
Columbus
play a
is
little bit.
6-1-4 now.
Yeah.
6-1-4. We got the
6-1-4.
one.
No, but Terry, that's exactly it. He showed us. He's showing us as we go. I don't have to wonder. We don't have to say, well, you know, wait till he gets acclimated to the system. Wait till he figures out the speed of the NFL game.
Or wait until he plays against some real guys who are pissed off.
Right. Wait till he goes against a real offensive line. No, there is none of that. The dude can play. There is no waiting. We don't have to sit there and think about it. Look at the tape already. This isn't magically going to go away. He can play. Period. End of story. I don't have to be told, well, just wait. Just wait till Rodrigo figures it all out. It's in there. Trust me. He's great in practice. He's great in practice. Trust me. No. He's out there doing it. This is what I'm talking about. When you draft guys, they can play or they can't play. He can play. I see it. I don't have to be told. It's there.
Bam.
And here's the thing. I hear it from the biggest thing is I hear it from the guys competing against him. Right? When every week.
There's somebody
saying
out
he's
there.
A good player.
This guy can play.
Yeah.
It's wild, I know. It's crazy for us that you're drafting guys in the 6th round, in the 4th round that can play. And it's going to take some getting used to for all of us. For all of us. It's weird, and it's a weird feeling. I get it. But he can play.
Hey, see, I love this. Like Steve Baffey going, well, if Holmes and Campbell were so good, they would have drafted him earlier. Well, what about all the other 31 teams? You know, well, isn't it a caveat? You're saying, oh, you should have took him in the 2nd or 3rd round. He's this good. No, then you would have wasted that pick and didn't get it a chance. You picked. Like, I don't understand the argument. The fact that you did draft him, the fact that you needed to see him. He's one of these guys that's going to show you.
Why would you take somebody in the 2nd round that you know is going to be there in the 5th or 6th?
No,
what are you, Sam Flannel at your fantasy football draft?
That's the argument, right? Right, that's exactly what it is. The argument, if he's no. The fact is that he got the opportunity to show it, and he's taking advantage of the opportunity. But 31 other teams weren't as the smartest. You actually were. Isn't that what value is, Neal? You're the draft guy. Isn't that value when you get a guy at 6th round or you get a guy in the 4th round? What about Amon-Ra St.Brown? Are other teams kicking themselves in the butt? Yeah. He'll remind them, though.
I love the fact, T-Foss, I don't have to be told. I can just open my eyes and see it.
How about the fact Harry just said the biggest thing? Was he starting because the guys sucked that much, or is he starting because he's getting all these props he deserved? They're coming from Terry.
That's what we're discovering now.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the thing that's unique because that's new.
Because for years I've heard about guys tearing it up in practice with the Lions.
Right.
And then
you were told.
Right. And then the regular season starts and says, what happened to Goober McGillicuddy? I haven't seen him in a while. But now this dude is showing that he can compete with the National Football League.
Not compete. Thrive.
Oh, that's right. I have to use your term.
Historic.
Well, easy. He's not in. He
will historically be the best 6th-round linebacker of all time.
Wow, the Tom Brady of linebackers. Wow, we're gonna make.
Are you setting it in stone?
Setting it in stone.
Spence, can we get an all 6-round team?
Yeah, I will do that. Honestly,
I know you will.
No. Here's the thing. I mean, you stop short of historic. Now, if they start pumping out graphics next week where they say, only Lawrence Taylor, Mike Singletary, and Malcolm Rodriguez have this many tackles to their first 4 games, then we can get in there.
Yeah,
or when he does something, then we can get in there. I'm just, my point of it is I'm happy about it because I don't have to wonder.
Yeah, and
I see.
I'm taking this time, all you people out there, taking out a page out of Neal's book that were talking crap to me. I remember you in the TikTok comments. Oh, no way he bought the jersey already. What now, huh? What now? Come say it to my face. That's my boy out there putting in work. Best linebacker in the NFL in stopping the run. Not rookies.
All right,
not
can we
NFC,
have
NFL.
Can we have a
medicine.
slight pump the brakes segment, fellas?
No.
This defense is giving up 33 points a game.
And Terry, I understand that. Believe me, I get that. I grasp that. I understand that. But how do you fix that? With guys that can play. Mm-hmm. That's how you fix it. He can play.
You need more guys who can play.
And hey, dude's only had 2 drafts, man. Like, easy. And remember, too, that 70-ish million in cap space, 80-ish million in cap space in 2024 still out there, too.
Can't wait for it.
It's all there. As excited as we are right now, as much as we want to hit the ground running, as big of a game, and it is. When you win that Washington Commanders game, this becomes a big game. And it's a little bit of house money. You expected to win? No. But if you do, ... if they win, and tomorrow, Friday, we'll be live at Big Boy in Rochester.
Yes.
I want to do a What If Friday.
Okay.
I have a couple of things. I just want you guys to entertain me for a couple of minutes. I have a couple of what if things that we will get to. That will be football based. We're going heavy football tomorrow during the show.
What if I ate 4 plates of baked potato fries?
What if? What if? We'll discuss that. AC in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. He is better than Nakobe Dean with a question mark. Let's be real.
I haven't seen Nakobe Dean. I didn't see Nakobe Dean out there against the Lions, like Amon-Ra said. I didn't see him in the game much.
Hey, so far the evidence has shown that Malcolm Rodriguez is a more productive player. Has Nakobe Dean ever led PFF's run defense for a week?
Hell no.
He sure as hell has not. So I'm excited about Malcolm Rodriguez like Spencer is, just because he has shown us it's actually quite unbelievable. He's a 6th-round rookie linebacker leading the NFL in run defense per PFF, being like the highest graded run defender per PFF. That you cannot overstate how spectacular that actually is. Spencer, take a bow.
That's it's over Fred Warner. That's over Bobby Wagner. That's Devin Lloyd was 2nd. Like the guy, it's on paper, like you said. We see it.
Look at the man's face.
I feel vindicated. We were there. Literally day one.
Keep that camera above the line. Keep that camera above the.
Yeah, my man's got a chubby over
My
there.
man's
That's great.
chubby. Are you kidding me?
And that doesn't happen when you're talking about the Lions. So this is historic today.
That is historic,
Yes.
T-Foss. That is historic. Tammy Chin and our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Please talk hockey soon. I have to go to lunch.
Dylan Hawkins stepped on the ice at training camp.
Tammy, we will when we come back. Give me 2 minutes, and we'll be there. I'll alter it for you. You're one of the OGs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll alter it. We do have we got a injury update for the Detroit Red Wings. I don't like speaking of tones, I know tone's been the theme of the day. I don't like the tone coming from Red Wings training camp in that respect so far, and we'll discuss. We'll discuss. I don't like the tone. Is that better for you there, D-Mac? I don't like the tone. I do like the tone, though, from us being live at Big Boy tomorrow. Maybe not as much as Spencer Raxter, but I do like it a lot. We will be there tomorrow, the Morning Woodward Show as well. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Tomorrow, 8 to 4 from the Big Boy on Rochester Road in M59. Come try the new loaded fries. See if you can eat more of them than Spencer Raxter. You can't?
You cannot.
Burgers.
Put it in your mouth.
And more. Hang out with the whole Woodward Sports crew and see the shows live in action. We'll see you tomorrow at Big Boy in Rochester.
Can I
yes,
throw
Terry
in one
Foster.
thing?
Yes.
Onion rings.
And onion. You know what?
Why dog the onion rings?
I don't dog the onion rings. I
Well, you
respect
don't
the hell
mention
out
it.
of them. And if you order some tomorrow, I'm going to have one. So there you go. Tomorrow, Big Boy,
I'll let
Rochester,
you have
Woodward
two.
Sports. See you there.
Burgers and fries.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club, get access to all the best deals. Take a look at the unlimited tanning options as well. Plus, they'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans are right there at Chili Peppers Tanning, 26 Metro Detroit locations. More on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Yay, yay.
That was better.
Chili Peppers Tan. In our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Mark Walston says Big Boys has the best onion rings in the state. That's facts.
They're very good.
T-Foss has signed
I
up.
have to travel the state to see if they're the best, but they're at the top, man.
They are at the top. There is no doubt about it. We will be out there tomorrow in Rochester. Tammy Chin, one of our resident OGs here on Big D Energy, said that she has to go to lunch soon and wanted to hear the Red Wings talk. So let's do it. Let's break it in there. We do have an injury update, I guess you could say, D-Mac, which I don't like that. Andrew Kopp had abdominal surgery in the offseason. He'll be back the first week of the regular season. Jake Wallman's out till mid-November. What else we have? Robbie Fabry expected to return after the new year. Chase Pearson out indefinitely for personal reasons. And look, I'm not saying shut it down. I'm not saying it's over. You know I like the moves. You know I like the cap situation. I know Terry hates it, but I do enjoy where they sit financially, where when a certain center in Toronto becomes a free agent, you can go to market.
Not Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
And it ain't Mitch Marner.
You can go to market with the big stack at the table. You know what I mean? You can dictate. You can be like me in my fantasy baseball league, where you just continue to buy all the pitchers because you can afford it and no one else can.
Are you doing it?
100%. I'm still doing it, yeah. I'm stretching the lead.
The Red Wings can actually sign these guys.
Absolutely.
With the Lions and the Tigers and the Pistons cannot.
Right. So there's that too. It's just the bumps and the bruises. I don't like that. And look, again, I'm not D-Mac. I'm not saying shut it down. You do at some point need a good run of health, right? Every team.
Yeah, but I mean, now's the time. This is the perfect time coming off. Obviously, with Andrew Kopp having surgery in the summer, Steve Yzerman's right aware of what needed to be.
1,000,000%.
Right. So I mean, the fact that he's going to be ready at the beginning of the season is great. You want all these guys healthy. The Robbie Fabry thing is sort of like Verona last year, where he's going to be out until the new year, but you have an asset, top 6 forward that you can put back in. What it does right now in training camp, which I think is a benefit, it gives an opportunity to give some other guys a look, gives your guys, Adina, who was just re-signed, see what they're going to do. You got to remember, Derek Lalonde's the first-year coach. It's the first time that he's had the team officially on the ice for a training camp, so you don't know if he's looking at different line combinations or whatever. I think if you're not healthy early, it's okay. Other guys have to step up. Plus, does it make sense that it takes about a month or maybe, a few weeks at least to get into the flow of the season, and you're not really into this season until, a month down the road where there's the ebbs and flows. So that's when you want guys healthy. So
yeah, I have a philosophy. Get it out the way.
Yeah, get out the way. Get out the way.
Right.
Get out the way. Move. Get out the way. No, I mean, you want it now. So and the fact that that Andrew Kopp, right, is one of your integral parts of moving forward. We mention it all the time, face-offs, and obviously getting paid $5.5 million a year. You're, one of your top 2 centermen, but it gives other guys an opportunity to come in. It gives all these younger guys, right, all this Swedish contingency, guys that you haven't known about, guys that played in the prospect tournament, played in the World Juniors, or guys that have been drafted. So I think it's a great opportunity to be interesting to hear from it. Rake said that he'll be up at training camp, so he'll be giving some live updates in the chat tomorrow and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. The biggest thing, all I want to hear, Neal, now is don't anybody get hurt starting now once you get on the ice.
In our WoodwardSports.com chat there, Brandon Katz says Marner plays better without Matthews. He may want out, but Matthews isn't going anywhere. Well, Brandon, I would say it like this: let's look at the math, shall we? The Maple Leafs next season have $15 million in cap space. The Red Wings have 41. So it may not be up to Austin Matthews or the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No, it would be up to Austin Matthews, but how do you know you don't want out?
But I'm saying if you want him, if you value him,
you can pay him the most money. You
choke him out with a contract.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You have the opportunity.
You have the opportunity,
right?
And that's why. And other people were saying, well, Nathan McKinnon's off the board now. You know what's funny about that deal? They're going to be paying him $13 million when he's 35. Avalanche went in deep with that move.
All in with the right guy. I mean,
and as we talked about, they got their cup, and that's fine and everything like that. But I'm saying though, I know Terry hates it when we talk about money, and it is math, and it does work out. The Maple Leafs have $15 million, the Red Wings have 41, and they have even more the following year. Who has the upper hand in those negotiations, my friend?
Maybe the Wings.
You know what I love too
Perhaps.
is that we automatically speculate that Austin Matthews is a Steve Eisner guy. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's for somebody else. But he's going to.
This is like the Troy Weaver thing.
Absolutely, 100%.
We can have that discussion.
Any conversation that Steve Eisner wants to be in, he can be in.
Anyone. Connor McDavid. Anybody.
Why is there playing 1919?
Yeah. 1919.
It just keeps going. It's a book. It's thick. Just trust me.
Anybody.
Trust me, look, I'm wearing my 1919. Game over. There it is.
Machiavelli Sucks to Go says Tammy Chin's the producer. Yeah, she had to go to lunch, so we got to get the Red Wings talk in.
It's been a while, man. I'm happy to talk about Red Wings again.
Yeah,
I am too. Till now they get on the ice. Let's see what some of the line combinations are. Let's see what we're messing around. We can speculate all this and that. The one thing that I did like to see, and here's Steve Eisner. When he talks, listen to what he said, is that Edmonton's got an opportunity to make the roster, but I don't expect it. The AHL is a great place to develop, too, if that's where he belongs. So it's the same sort of thing we're hearing out of Steve of what we heard out of Lucas Raymond last year, who ended up making the opening day roster. So we'll wait and see. Now we got training camp, we got exhibition. This is the fun time. I don't care about injuries up until now. Now it's just to see who gets banged up or, nothing serious in training camp.
Yeah, so, and
you know what else they're talking about out there that we haven't heard in a while? Playoffs. They think they have a shot at it.
Which they do because they solidified the roster with viable NHL players. Now Zadina's a third liner. See, and that's the biggest difference. That's how I know, D-Mac, when we watched it, because we were here during the show, and we watched it all unfold and saw where everybody was going, and for me it was pretty simple in that all these young guys that you've counted on as first liners, second liners, everybody moves down some rungs now because you have viable NHL players. And as much as we like the young talent that they had, now And again, I reserve the right to change it on Zadina because now at $1.8 million a year and on the third line, now if you get me 20 goals, you got a good-ass team.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day who didn't understand why we signed Zadina, and I said to him, that sort of didn't catch me by surprise, but it got me wondering a little bit too. And then the next thing was is that you said hashtag Wiser plan. So Stevie likes something in him and feels the fact that he is a part. He's not going to give him $1.8 million, but to your point, you put him back, Neal, on the third line or whatever, and he produces 15, 20 goals for you like that, you're a better hockey club.
Right.
You're a better hockey club. So Stevie likes him. That's all. Hashtag Wiser play 1919.
Absolutely. And for the next couple of years after this season's over, it's the Blackhawks, the Sabres, and the Red Wings, and the Hurricanes, and the Ducks, all in that 40 to 44-ish million in cap space, and then the following year, that 60 to 66 million-ish in cap space. So those are your contemporaries for Austin Matthews, because he's a free agent after next year. So let the games begin. And as you said, maybe it's not that. Maybe we're just talking about it, we're spitballing it. But you can have those discussions.
But you can have that because he's going to be the most sought-off guy who's going to get paid the most and whatever, the most prolific free agent out there if he goes to free agency. So, yeah, but we're in the conversation. That's what matters. That's what's different.
Right. Somebody said name the whole league. Neal Eluded Corp says name the whole league. Neal, no, nobody. No, T-Foss. We'll lose T-Foss if we do that.
We will.
Let's talk NHL cap space in 2025, shall we? Shall we, T-Foss? What do you think? Vegas Golden Knights have the least amount of space at $14 million.
Wow. They just got in the league. How does that happen?
Because they went all in. They went all in trying to get that cup once they had the opportunity.
What about the Kraken?
The Seattle Kraken in 2025, they are middle of the road. They're 14th. They'll have about 39-ish million in cap space.
That makes sense.
So they're middle of the road, T-Foss. Hey, your questions, 248. What do you think about the 2025 NHL salary cap? 248. No, but it is. It's one of those things where I like where it is. I just don't like, again, the injury thing is, I don't want to say it's concerning me. So you say these things and instantly you get labeled like, well, Neal, you're crazy and stuff like that. I just don't like the vibe that I'm getting from a health perspective to start. I just don't like it. It's not anything anybody can control. I just don't like the vibe. They are still, D-Mac, they are still in a spot where if they are going to contend / make the playoffs, they do need all hands on deck.
Oh, they do. Now you get them healthy. And here's the thing, too, is that all these injuries were either from last year or surgeries that were scheduled for this summer. It's not like you see in some sports or even hockey where guys are training a week from training camp and boom, and they go down and blow a knee out or something like that. You see that in basketball and football and stuff. That's not the case, so they'll be back as healthy. The fact that Cup's coming off the abdominal surgery, the timing of that, I've had 3 of them. So it's usually a 6 to 8 week process. So right around when he was negotiating the contract, they all knew this and got him in. And, he expect him to be back, take him a week or so to get going, but he's a true pro. He'll be good.
Yeah, and people were talking about the Austin Matthews thing. We always do this, Terry, right? Like it always devolves into the superstar, sign him in free agency.
That's what we like.
That's what we like. It's sexy. I get it.
It's nice to have a 50-goal scorer.
Absolutely.
No, it's nice to talk about
elite
of the elite and actually
being a factor.
Being able to say, hey, that could be a possibility instead of just saying pipe dream. No one wants to play here. Guess what? Building something like it used to be where Detroit is becoming a destination place. I don't think it's quite there yet, but in a couple of years with the cap and with everything that Steve's put around it and the strides that this team might make this year, I still think that your best case scenario, best case scenario is, okay, they're a playoff team, right, ahead of schedule. But your best case scenario is that we come down to the last week of the year, Bettman hockey. Hey, if we beat Ottawa and Boston these last 2 games, we're in. To me, that's a benefit. You want to be in the conversation
on the graphic.
I'd be worried about him going
graphic,
to the Canes.
As Neal says.
What's that, Spence?
I said the most I'm worried about is him going to the Canes. Like, honestly, out of all those teams, other than the Red Wings.
Nobody ever talks about them.
No.
But the Hurricanes, man. They always have good players. They always have a ton of cap space, always.
And they got a great coach in Rod Brindamore. So.
Yeah.
And some of the sickest jerseys in the NFL or NHL.
And a great home rink atmosphere, the Caniacs and stuff like this. So they got a good, so that's a viable fear to have. Mm-hmm. But you can tuck that away for later.
Yeah. Here's another angle, too, real quick about the Austin Matthews thing. I listed the teams, and look, yes, there are a lot of bad teams that have the most amount of cap space. That stands to reason. That checks out mathematically. However, even if you're not in the Austin Matthews thing where he wants to go to a good team or whatever, you become a factor in somebody else getting them.
Thanks. Drive that price up.
Absolutely. Well, it's that, and you have all that cap space that you can rent out.
Mm-hmm.
Troy Weaver's been doing a good job of this. Stevie Y's done this too.
Draft picks.
Aging vets, maybe they cut. The Bogdanoviches of the NHL.
Jumbo to the wings.
Yeah,
he's still out there.
D-Mac, you'd have the cap space to go after Mr. Kearney if you wanted to, if he was on your third line.
Well, I don't know if you go after him or not, but you definitely, if you're interested in expanding your career, making a difference in your community, the Academy of Warren is looking for you. They're looking for professionals that have a passion for working with students in the kindergarten to 8th grade department and more. For more information on how to apply, give Academy of Warren a call, 586-552-8010, or visit Mr. Kearney, academyofwarren.net.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Scott from the Bet Show. Thursday night football coming at you here tonight. We're going to break it all down for you. We got a little bit of weather issues here tonight. We also got some pretty strong trends, so have to join us at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page to hear all about it. You also got to get over to their app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, the best place to check all the odds of sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get to some fun coupons. We need some winners. So for tonight, I'm rolling with the Steelers. The Steelers are 20-6 against the spread in divisional games as underdogs under Tomlin. Sounds good to me. oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Mike Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Mike Phillips, 313-403-0011. That is 313-403-0011. Game on.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you check out the new Woodward Sports website at woodwardsports.com. Happy to have you all with us here today. We're just chopping it up. Told you we're going to get to some college football, and certainly we are. Let's just clean up a couple of these things on our woodwardsports.com chat. Epic says it's almost like the Kevin Durant to the Pistons takes. Hey, look, and we joked about that during the summer, but it is true. If you wanted to get in those waters, you could. It's not me. I'm not of that ilk. I know people would lose their mind. I'm not a fan of that kind of. You start getting 35, 36, like, on a guy with a lot of mileage. Let's just say it like that. That couldn't get the Nets to the playoffs. Or through the playoffs.
Absolutely, and it seems like later. But how much treads on the tire?
I don't think a lot.
I think nowadays in sports, right? If 35 is that age where you're looking, you have to look individual cases. Right, because there are guys. I played with one, Chris Chelios, right? That still probably could play today. There's so I think it's a different case by case, but you have to go look at treading the tire and stuff like this. And in basketball, right? What do you lose? Your jump. Hockey, you lose your speed, right? So I think it's a case by case. T, don't you think? More so.
Absolutely, but it's also your surroundings. I don't fault Kevin Durant totally for what happened in New Jersey, although he created a lot of it. But when there's a lot of turmoil and everybody playing for themselves, it's hard to win in a situation like that.
If you're Kevin Durant, though, why? Right?
I don't know.
When you go I don't know. I go invest in a company and start all your different accounts that you wanted. But you don't need to stress. To Terry's point is that it's when it's a mess and stuff like this.
Yeah, and it's
Noise.
ego. He was in a perfect situation at Golden State, but ego plays in. I got to get my own championship. I want a championship where everybody's talking about me.
That's
is
a
mine.
basketball thing.
Instead of Steph.
That's so wild to me, man.
That's a basketball thing, not a hockey thing, because you know what? It's
Nobody
not my
questions it.
Dude, because the whole thing with hockey, what we talk about, right, is the stories and the fact we did it together. And Stevie even said, dude, guys, you know, we accomplished this and we'll have this for the rest of our lives to talk about. We're going to celebrate the 3rd and the 5th of November down at LCA, the 97-98 championships, all the guys coming back into town. Can't wait. It's been 25 years.
Do you know what question is never asked in the hockey locker room? Whose team is this? A, you either know, or B, it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the only two
Right.
answers. Speaking of answers, it's time to talk some college football. Michigan State, Minnesota.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Mr. Roster, you're on the stand.
It's really wild to me how Minnesota's a betting favorite in that game.
Yeah, it's going to be different. Obviously, Ibrahim, the guy, is a monster. He drives their offense. We're going to need to stop him. You can't stop him. You're not going to do much. But it's tough. It looks like Slade's going to be out. Barrow came back. He's probably going to be healthy, so at least we'll have one of our big guys up the gut. But we're going to need it all comes down to stopping Ibrahim. If we can, then we'll win. If we can't, we're not going to win.
I think Michigan State will be fine as long as they don't move him to wide receiver.
Can I, dude, get rid of the Melba-Toast answer. How you feeling right now?
Well,
You're not feeling very good.
Hold on, Mr. McCarty, if you will.
Oh, you got this?
So Spencer,
Yes. I can put my gloves back on.
a big
never really happens. Somebody
big
steps in the
Michigan
fight.
State guy, Michigan State alum.
Yes.
Somebody who, like me, likes to go after the Michigan fans from time to time.
I do. I like to poke fun.
You know, to me,
accountable
that every football game happens in a vacuum. People get caught up in the overriding narrative and things like that, but things happen week to week, and each football game is its own individual entity. Agree with me or disagree with this statement. This is a huge football game, not for the record this year.
Mm-hmm.
No, because nobody expected Michigan State to win the Big Ten or to get to the college football playoff. However, as my good friend Terry Foster likes to say, I do believe that this is a referendum game for Michigan State. Not a must win, a referendum game where because you're seeing it already. The Michigan fans, they've been chirping about Tucker's contract and stuff like that. And I've kind of brushed that off to the side a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
But home games against Minnesota, you do need to win this football game. If you do not, then you guys deserve every single thing you get from the Michigan fans this week.
100%.
I like to laugh about it. I like to think it's kind of clownish how they do that. If Michigan State does not win this football game this weekend, then you guys deserve every single bit that you get from everybody.
Facts. It's true. Yeah, we do. We need to do it. We saw it last year. They bounced back after their losses. After their loss to Purdue, they went out there and beat Maryland the next week. After their loss to Ohio State, they went out there and beat Penn State the next week. So will this team have that same resiliency? Will this team be able to bounce back like that is going to be a big question. I am a little nervous, although we have been pretty decent at stopping the run, but not having Slade is going to be tough. He was a big part of that. Hopefully, Barrow can come in there, be healthy, stay healthy, because he's a big part of stopping the run.
I'm not talking about
as well.
on the field, Spencer. You're getting the analyzations. You seeing him go there, Terry? He's went on a filibuster.
You know what it is? He's scared.
Yep.
I'm nervous.
There's fear.
I'm nervous.
So you admit it. I'll give you that.
I'm nervous, yes. It is a big game. It's a big game
Are you
for
afraid?
the program. I'm not afraid. No.
No, not afraid of Minnesota. Not afraid of Minnesota. Not afraid of the game. Are you afraid of the backlash?
No. Hell no.
But even though it's justified?
Even though it's justified, I don't care what they say. They can say whatever they want. But I am afraid, and this is the biggest person this game is for is Scotty Hazelton. Because Scotty Hazelton is on the hottest seat out of anybody.
Yeah, but see...
Scotty Hazelton is the...
Defensive coordinator.
Okay. But see, for me, you had those questions come through about D'Antonio and all that kind of stuff. Hazelton's a non-entity with me.
It's different.
Mel Tucker's the CEO of that program.
Yes, exactly, and that's
so it's on him.
Buck stops there. Right?
Yeah, and that's what.
And it starts there.
It's different.
And stops it. But to Terry's point is that you walk into Michigan State and you know whose program that is. Who's the alpha there? Terry, what do you, after last weekend's performance, what does State have to do? What's the number one thing that they have to do? Stop the pass?
Yeah, that's the number one thing, but they can't do it.
But they haven't done it in 2 years.
They're not going to fix that in a week.
Right.
If they didn't fix it during the offseason.
So what do they do?
But you see, it goes back to me that as a whole, we don't quite believe in Michigan State. Michigan State, every time they lose, it's like, okay, that's it. Now we have these games they must win. We don't say that about Michigan. We always believe Michigan is going to bounce back. We're not sure if Michigan State is going to bounce back.
And that's my main point of contention.
It's a mentality that we have.
Michigan's going to bounce back against who?
We're not talking. Hey, don't go Michigan fan right now, where you start being asked questions of their program, and then right away they run to talk about Michigan State. Don't do that. Don't be what you hate. Michigan State's on the stand right now.
For sure.
And I'm telling guys, look, I'm not overselling this. I'm not doing this for media or anything like that. I believe this in my heart.
It is.
That this is a must-win game. And I think if you lose this game, depending
Now,
as
you
well.
said it wasn't a must-win game. It was a referendum.
No, referendum game. My apologies.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. But if you don't want to deal with the smoke, you've asked for this. Michigan State fans have asked for this.
Okay, can I please go into the legend killer here as the Michigan, and I like the way how you were looking. You totally DMAC'd. You were looking at Spencer and you backhanded slapped Sam in the booth there with that the comment on the Michigan fans. But your view as a Michigan fan of what the Spartans is, everything you're talking about, if they lose to Michigan or whatever, you're coming down with the wrath of God or telling them exactly that the program
we don't pay attention to Michigan State.
No. If they lose to Minnesota, I think that'll be huge for Michigan State. It'll be a big blow. I will not have the bragging rights, though, until Jim Harbaugh finally beats Mel Tucker, which I think they will do this year. But yeah, Michigan State, they a lot of times, and you know this, Spencer, you got to admit, they sometimes suffer from low expectations. And this year the expectations were high after Mel Tucker kind of overachieved last year. And if they start the Big Ten season 0-1 and are 2-2 overall with an Ohio State game looming in 2 weeks, that is extremely mid. Yeah. So, and I know you know this, Spencer. They have to win. I think they will find a way to pull it out, but Mohamed Ibrahim is a dude, and he is back. But Tanner Morgan, their quarterback. Tanner Morgan is Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford is Tanner Morgan, another like seventh-year senior quarterback who's extremely mid. It could be somewhat of a get-right game for the MSU secondary after going against Michael Penix. I don't know.
And my other thing, too, like PJ Fleck's like a cool, marketing ploy, and he looks like a guy selling you carnival tickets out front. The only thing he needs is that little stick in his hand going, come on.
No, he's got the little monkey.
Yeah, on his shoulder with the cup.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. He does, and that's fine. He's done a nice job there at Minnesota, I guess. But through all that, it does boil down to that, because for me, if I'm a general college football fan, where if Michigan State loses this game, if I'm a general Detroit sports fan, I've checked out till the Michigan game comes rolling back around. I've checked out on it, and then you guys say you want all this.
Yeah.
You want all this smoke. And then look, I'm seeing it here in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread where Mike G says Tucker's a transfer portal recruiter, is slightly overpaid. Can you get a grad assistant to do that job and save $100 million? Well, easy, guy. That's the rate for coaches these days.
And can you get an assistant to come in and win a Big Ten title? Can you get an assistant to come in and go 11-2?
Right. Beat Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, beat Michigan.
Like all that stuff. But Stephen Baffy says, if Michigan State cannot prove to spotlight talent and utilize it correctly in schemes, does it start to affect their transfer portal mercenary magic? No, I'm not prepared to say that either. It's just, for me, they have to win this game or it's a referendum game, because all that smoke that they asked for, they get. Because if y'all lose this game, Spence, I don't want to hear it.
No.
Because when we come in here Monday and we start barking about it, I don't want to hear it, because you deserve everything you get.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
can't lose home games to I don't care where you are you can't lose home games to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it's slightly irritating that they're an underdog to Minnesota. So in the business community, there's not a lot of faith in the Spartans out there.
Yeah.
That should bother you guys as a Michigan State fan.
I mean, Minnesota might win the West, which isn't saying much.
Cool, bro.
Yeah, it's not saying much, but yeah.
Can't wait to go to Indianapolis and watch that one.
You can't lose this game. You can't
Can't lose it. D-Mac, you can't lose to Minnesota at home. I don't care what's going on. And look, fair play. The recruiting class, and I see Michigan fans talk about, well, you got the expectations, you got the recruiting. The recruiting class is next year.
Yes.
That's next year's recruiting class.
Yes, it is.
But I don't care. You don't lose to Minnesota at home. Period. End of story.
Not especially now with your building. This will, definitely set your program back a little bit and bring up those questions and everything else. So you got to take care of what's at hand. And I think last week when they were exposed as much as they are, everybody knows what their weaknesses is, but they just got to go out and win. So we're still looking for Peyton Thorne because, to Spencer's point, he didn't play bad last week.
No, he
did what he
well.
did, but it's on the defense here. So there'll be questions that need to be
But
answered.
last time I
will turn on.
checked, they didn't lose to Minnesota at home. And so, but it seems like here, that's what you're anticipating.
Yeah.
No,
Because
that's what Spencer's
there's
anticipating.
not quite a belief in Michigan State yet.
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win. I think we'll go out there and stop the run to a point, and we'll be able to win. Because the two things that did come out of that terrible, embarrassing loss to Washington, where Peyton Thorne looked good, Keon Coleman looks like an NFL receiver. So if they can go out there and do that same thing, stop the run, they're going to get the win.
Yaz in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread says Neal Ruhl is a poser, Ruhl the tool. Where? These are legit. You're a State fan. These legitimate questions?
Oh, for sure.
You may not like them, Yazin, but just because you like them doesn't mean that they are true. And if you want that smoke, you cannot lose to Minnesota at home. I'm sorry, guys. You can't. Let me rephrase it another way. You can't lose home games to teams from the Big Ten West, right? Don't we clown them all the time? Don't we laugh at it? I know I do.
Yes.
You can't do it.
And the team we make fun of, Michigan, I always say Michigan against the Big Ten West should win 90% of the time. Then why not State?
Hey, if you want that smoke, man, that's what I'm saying. Yes, and look, you go to name calling and stuff like that because you know it's true. That's why. That's a human reaction, and that's fine, man. I do appreciate you tapping in. And hey, look, Yazin, if you're looking for a gym, Planet Fitness is the place to go. It's the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports, home of the Judgment-Free Zone. You can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere for just $10 per month. Want a little extra? Are you kind of you need a little extra in your life? The Black Card option, $24.99 a month. Yes, less than $1 per day. You basically own Planet Fitness. You can come and go as you please. You can go do whatever you want there. And you got access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world with unlimited guest privileges. Join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. Just pull in the parking lot and join there, or go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential. Haha, I was old school.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
At Alta Uptime Matters, Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. It is fall, so you might have a bog project coming up. So Alta Rent, they got you covered. Give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy right here, WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you check out the new website. Darren McCarty, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Flip side of the coin, Michigan playing Maryland on Saturday. Ho hum, ho hum. And it's, you know, it's the thing where I'm seeing it already, and we see this every year. Michigan plays Maryland, Terry, where, you know, Tua's brother and the hype train and the offense, and he's averaging 400 yards a game, and this will be a test for Michigan. No, it's not. Michigan will destroy Maryland by 40 points like they always do. I always have to hear about how it's a challenge. It's not a challenge.
Maybe 4 touchdowns.
Whatever.
Maybe by 28 points, 30.
You get what I'm saying. But through this, like as you negotiate the schedule for Michigan, and Spence has it on the show sheet here, is Michigan on the collision course with another college football playoff appearance? And
you nailed this a month ago.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule going, if it works out, obviously they got to take care of business, beat Michigan State. But even with the one loss, and if that loss is to Ohio State,
right, depending on the nature of it,
competition, and depending on the nature, it's, you know, 1-score game or it's close game, stuff like this.
They're going.
They're going.
Well, I think I have my pulse on this, brother. Michigan fans disagree with you.
And it's weird.
They don't think they can lose to Ohio State and go to the playoffs.
Georgia or Alabama do it every single year.
Well, SEC, this is the Big Ten.
Right, but the field, guys, we got to do this, don't we? What happens on the field does not matter as much as what happens with the Nielsen ratings, man. I don't know how many times I got to explain this to people, D-Mac, where when people watch you, you're more apt to be there.
Well, yes. However, there is a belief that the nation would rather watch Georgia than Michigan. That they'd rather watch Alabama than Michigan.
That might be
true. That's the belief that we have around in this community.
Well, that's because they're winning. Right? The fact that they have the credentials and the record, well, why it would only seem right that those are the 2 best. What I'm saying is that the 4 best teams around the country, 2 are in the Big Ten and 2 are in the SEC, right? That's the way the picture looks. Neal, to your point, it's almost like you've been saying this, and it's almost like pulling the curtain back, right? A little bit at the time.
Week by week,
the curtains moved, so it was closed like this, and it's more like this now, where you can see that there's something behind it, but you cannot deny that because A, it is the NCAA. B, we've seen different things. It's fit your narrative, and the narrative is the dollar. Right? Can we agree?
Right.
And when you get
always
beyond
has
that,
been.
Now it's easier. Terry, that Georgia and Alabama are usually the best teams in college football. So yes, they deserve to be on top. It's just the next few.
Who gets in first?
Put on your thinking cap, Neal. Pin you to the wall. Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, and Ohio State all have 1 loss. Who makes it and who doesn't? In the college football playoffs.
Well, they wouldn't all be able to have the 1 loss, Terry, right? Because if you had the loss, I'm operating under the assumption that they lose to the 2 that lose to each other,
okay,
and then the other 2 are undefeated. You see what I'm saying?
But you can lose to somebody else.
Then that takes off.
It could, but now you're opening yourself up to a lot of variables, like with the USC stuff and all that kind of stuff. Assume everyone runs a table. Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. They can lose to each other. Granted, no one gets punked by like 55 points. No one gives up a 60 burger.
Okay. Because that only counts as like a half a loss.
Bingo.
The way that it's mentally viewed.
Well, if you want it to.
Right.
You know if that's your narrative.
If that's your narrative, we're operating under the assumption that that's the narrative. Right?
Kevin Newsham says on our Woodward Sports chat thread, Neal, don't you think we should wait till Michigan actually gets to Ohio State game undefeated? This is football with face masks, so Michigan is out of its depth. And no, Kevin, there is no way possible.
That was tone. That was tone, Kevin. That was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was. There is no way possible. And guys, I see, and people right away go, they run right to the Michigan hate's real. Where did I say, Sam Flannel, where did I say I fault you for this schedule?
You did not say it. And honestly, Michigan has to go into the Ohio State game undefeated. It would be a complete failure of a season if they don't.
Regardless of the college football playoffs, your goal. You can't lose any of these games. You're going to be a double-digit favorite in every single one of these games.
You can't. The pressure's on every single week to go out and
against
perform.
Iowa and Maryland and Penn State.
I get that, but you can't have like a fall-off game. You can't have sort of like a trap game. You have to go out and win every single one of these games, or else the season is an absolute failure. That's like kind of like burn down the studio if they lose one game up until Ohio State. That's just the reality with the way they scheduled, with how easy it is, with having 8 home games of all things. It's great. You just cannot lose at all. You cannot
young man,
once.
are you saying the Big Ten sucks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then why would the committee select Michigan from a subpar conference?
Even you're doing it. The field doesn't matter, Terry.
I'm asking you the question.
What's coming up for negotiation pretty soon as far as college football is?
The big TV. Well, the big TV contracts have sort of been settled.
No.
Expansion.
What TV contract still has to be kind of hashed out from a dollars and cents perspective?
SEC and the Pac-10.
No. The override, the big dog, the college football playoff once they expand it.
Sure.
That one's coming up. Okay? ...
Okay.
What do you need to go to the table with if you're a college football?
Brand power.
Brand power.
Because what does brand power equal?
Money.
And why does it equal that? Because people watch.
People want to see you play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who gets in first? A one-loss Michigan team or a one-loss USC?
One-loss Michigan team.
Brand power. Alabama or Michigan?
Roughly the same.
So I'd say Alabama, because Alabama's won all these national titles. Now, normally I would say
you have a top 15. You have a top 15 media market here, Terry, that will die before they don't watch that game.
A team that we all assume is going to win the national championship every year. You want to see that team play. Now, normally I would agree with you. Michigan's brand is way greater than Georgia's. But guess who's the defending college football champion? Georgia. So then I would have to believe that if you're looking at it from a sports fan's standpoint, that maybe you want to see the defending champion defend their title over Michigan being in there.
No, the college football playoff committee doesn't. They want Michigan in there. Look at the rate, Terry.
Ward
when they played Ohio
Manuel's at that table too, right?
What's that?
Ward Manuel's at that table.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a collective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look at the ratings when they played Ohio State last year. People
but that's
lost
Michigan
their
and
minds.
Ohio State. The greatest rivalry that some people say in history of sports.
Duke NC, I'd say.
See, everybody here is talking to what if USC runs the table? Will that change your math for the two Big Ten teams? See, I don't think USC is. Like, people are talking about like Washington, USC. You can't have them both.
Yeah,
somebody's going to lose.
If it's a one-loss USC Pac-12 champion versus a one-loss Michigan, obviously not. They wouldn't be the Big Ten champion at that point.
Right. Honest to God, depending on the game. Now, you can't be going in there giving up 62 points like you have recently. Certainly, you can't be doing that. A last-second field goal, something like that. Then the narrative will change. It'll be like, well, who'd you lose to? Oh, Ohio State. They're in the college football play. You lost to them by a field goal at their stadium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I just think USC is like the darling right now. With all
Plus,
with their new hire.
But they're still USC.
Caleb
Something's
Williams.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen, man. It is. Like, it's all got to play itself out. It's loaded with pits. I don't have their schedule in front of me, but you start. You don't want to bang with Utah every single week.
Oregon, Utah, Washington.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Like, I know Utah lost at Florida, but they went and played at a SEC school in the non-con. You don't want to bang helmets with those guys, man. Like, that's kind of my point about it. Let me tell you what you can bang helmets with, though. Some mulligans made with gypsy vodka. Now, I know it's fall. I know summer's over, but that still doesn't change the fact that the mulligan tastes pretty good. So, if you're hanging out on the golf course, fall golf, if you're D-Mac Darren McCarty out there searching for his ball through all those leaves that are laying on the ground and it drives you crazy because you hit it in the middle of the fairway. But hey, whatever, I digress. You can still smash a mulligan out there made with gypsy vodka because it's calling your name. Ask for mulligan at a golf course. Get some stock up for the winter time. At a Total Wine near you, it's a mulligan made with gypsy vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
I would.
There is nothing better on game day than a rocking tailgate. With all the fun comes some responsibility too. Host liquor liability is an important coverage when hosting a high school, college, or pro tailgate. Let Mark at Swiss Insurance make sure you are protected so you can enjoy the big game.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy.
Hey, you know where I'm going to be this weekend?
Where are you going to be?
At the Michigan-Minnesota football game.
Oh, up at East Lansing?
Michigan
Lansing. State, Minnesota? All right,
yeah, Michigan State it's parents' weekend, so
all right.
We're going.
I might be up there too, Terry. I was thinking about going up there.
All right, brother, come to the tennis court.
For sure.
Got a great tailgate.
I want to know the crowd, too. When you report back on Monday with the crowd size.
Time's that game?
3:30.
Oh, it lines up nice for you, doesn't it? Put the camera. Put the camera on right now, please, sir.
It's pretty good.
That's perfect for him.
3:30's perfect. Yeah, don't got to get up and get a shower beer at 6. You can get up and get a shower beer at 8. You know, it's pretty good.
You get the day rolling.
Yeah, it's good. I don't mind that.
You can get the day rolling. I'm kind of running out of time. Somebody asked for an Ask Neal segment. I don't know that I think just AC. AC, if you got a question for me, fire it away. I'll answer that. But tomorrow we are live at Big Boy in Rochester. T-Foss gonna be smashing those onion rings. How you gonna roll, D-Mac? What are you rolling with? The big people at Big Boy hook us up, man.
Yeah, tomorrow, obviously the breakfast, but I'm a big...
That's true. You're a big breakfast guy.
Strawberry guy, but I will be having a chocolate shake. You best be knowing it. Big Boy shakes some money.
Yeah, no, that is true. What's the over-under, Spence? You gonna go... You did 4 strawberry waffles.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to be there. It's Yeah, I don't know because they haven't.
Was it your birthday again?
No, we do the off-premise stuff because heavyweights isn't.
Oh, that's true.
Offside, so but if I am, I'll have at least 3 plates of those baked potato fries.
3 plates of baked. That's hard. That's aggressive.
No, I'll have to take a nap before heavyweights.
Somebody have to drive him back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, people talking in the YouTube, or excuse me, in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread about the rivalries, right? The Michigan-Ohio State, the Auburn-Alabama. I will say this, like the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is bigger because it's in bigger populated cities, but that Auburn-Alabama game, people will kill each other's trees over that game.
Yeah, I saw that. That's intriguing.
UNC versus
we took a trip to Nashville. And when you go to some of these restaurants, it's like you family style with people you don't know. And so we have to introduce ourselves. So there's this group of 4 people. They said they were from Alabama. And I said, hey, this is the first time I've heard someone say they're from Alabama and then start chirping Roll Tide. And they both went, oh, hell no. War Eagle, man. Forget those guys. We hate them.
Here on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, the point that I was trying to get at here, RJ Graham said you can watch a Red Wings prospect game between the Leafs and the Wings on YouTube. Finally got to see Soderblom in a Red Wings uniform. AC does have a question for me. Neal, do you think Mel Tucker is getting exposed? The secondary has been crap last year, but nothing changed. I don't think he's getting exposed because he's largely there to beat Michigan, right? And he beats Michigan. See, like, again, guys, this is all in silos. Everything that happens is on its own, and it's its own entity. Where with this, Mel Tucker has done what he was brought in to do. Now it's time to do that next thing, right? Where they do, and that time will come. Spencer said that, and it's soon.
Yeah.
Like next year soon, where it's time to roll to be in the mix for Big Ten championship.
I don't quite get that. How's Mel Tucker exposed when he won a Big Ten title, went to the college playoffs, won 11-2 last year, but then he lost to Washington at Washington, where State always gets rolled. So how's he exposed?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not there yet. Matt O says, Neal, what's the over/under on turning on that second furnace tonight?
It's already on. You guys,
no, Neal won't do it. He's stubborn and tough.
It's on the timer.
My guess is the downstairs furnace. We won't need to run the downstairs furnace because of all the windows in the
downstairs.
All the windows in the palatial estate. It's going to be sunny today, so I'll use the sunlight to heat.
You don't
the home.
have two furnaces in the basement. They're on different levels.
Well, they're in the basement, but one goes up to the upstairs and one goes up to the living quarters.
Okay. The living quarters. But you got all that Oakland University gear. You don't need to turn on your furnace yet.
That's it. Good show today, everybody. Appreciate everybody that tapped in. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. For DMAC, for T. Foss, for Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter. My name's Neal Ruhl. See you tomorrow. Big boy in Rochester. Onion rings for everybody. It's on Terry Foster. Well, see you later.